So what are your thoughts on that statement, and how do you think this will impact, if at all, 2024?
Well, it's already impacting 2024, which is that the White House is having to talk about it. And it makes it much harder for the White House to run on the 2020 platform of Joe Biden is as clean as a preacher's sheets, and this sort of antidote to the craziness and corruption and malfeasance of Donald Trump, when you've got serious questions about Joe Biden's, shall we say, if you say sort of truthfulness with the American people might be the best way to say it. There have been statements that Joe Biden has made unequivocally that now turn out really to any fair-minded person not to be true anymore. At the same time, so that's the problem for Democrats, and clearly Congressman Goldman may be sort of overstepping there. At the same time, you've got Republicans who are overstepping as well, saying we've got the goods that Joe Biden engaged in corruption on and on and on, when that may have happened. But so far, they can't prove it, as evidenced by the fact that both Congressman Comer and Jim Jordan were on Sean Hannity's show last night, the most Republican-friendly show probably on television. And when asked directly, can you prove that Joe Biden, the president, engaged in misconduct, they said, we're going to try. And that is sort of the most friendly version you can possibly have of this. So you've got Democrats saying there's nothing to see here. There's lots to see. And you've got Republicans to say we've got the goods and they don't. And the truth lies in the middle.
All right. And as you know, a federal grand jury met today in Washington to consider charging Trump in connection with efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss on January 6th. Do you think we'll see another indictment? And Leland, as you know, these indictments, even if we do, sometimes create, or they have in the past, they've created a spike in the polls for former President Trump.
That's the best point. I think you make a really excellent point here, and that is that Donald Trump has set up a situation where he and he alone is the man to fight against the deep state and the corruption in Washington and clean the swamp. So to his supporters, any attack on him by the Department of Justice and the FBI and others, even if it's warranted, is just more proof of how he is fighting. In his words, they hate you, but I'm protecting you. So I, Donald Trump, am the person who is being attacked. Those are his words. And the polling proves it. New York Times Siena poll just today, 43-43, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. So the idea that this is somehow hurting Donald Trump doesn't seem to be playing out in the general election polls. And it's really not playing out in the primary polls. The Republican electorate just doesn't seem to care. You asked, do I think that there's going to be indictments? What I think probably really isn't worth a hill of beans. Donald Trump himself, though, has said that he expects another indictment in the next couple of days.
All right, we will see. And one last question on the other side of the aisle. Leland, what do you believe Democrats need to do to put the focus back on Joe Biden, the president, and not Hunter Biden, his son?
Look, it's a great question. I think Democrats are trying to figure that out themselves because they all really hoped that the plea deal would allow them to put this behind them and say, look, the federal investigation of 5 years found no connection to Joe Biden from Hunter Biden, and this case is closed. That was their real desire. Now that has been taken off the table, at least for the next month, I think they probably hope that there's going to be a plea deal sometime before the end of summer. Or at least early fall, and they can then once again say, this matter is closed, we're moving on. If they can't say that, it's a real problem for them, as evidenced by the fact that for the past week and a half now, the White House briefing has been dominated over and over and over again by questions about what the president said regarding his son. And look, President Biden's on vacation right now. This is the honeymoon period, if you will, in this. And timing's everything, right? You think that you're going to have the Hunter Biden plea deal, and then the president goes on vacation. When he comes back, he goes, all right, I'm ready to get to work for the American people. He can put all the questions about his son behind him. And we saw that statement about his 7th grandchild sort of as evidence of how planned this vacation was from a media strategy standpoint. That's all been blown up now. And when the president gets back from vacation, question 1 through 50, at any time the press gets an opportunity to ask, is going to be about his son.
And we will see how he responds. All right, Leland, Vittert, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.